Hey everybody, it's Ghost, and this is the Ghost Cast. Stay tuned because it's about to get real weird as I bring light to the unknown. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a couple days since the first episode came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Took some time to watch it, but tonight we are going to dive into two more cryptids here in Indiana. So stay tuned. It's going to get good. The first one takes us to Columbus, Indiana, about an hour away from Indianapolis. And this cryptid goes back to 1974 when this cryptid was first sighted. Known as the Bigfoot of the Midwest, we are exploring the story of the Mill Race Monster. The first reported sighting of the Mill Race Monster takes us back to November 1st, 1974, about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. A group of 4 young women were at Mill Race Park when one of them reported seeing a monster or creature looking at her through trees at the park. Now, there is no documented video footage or photo footage of this happening, but her claims are followed up with some other ones. After she spotted the monster, her and her friends were able to get away and made an immediate report to the police of the local area. The main words that they used to report this creature were green, hairy, and a very large creature. Now, if you ask me, at 3 in the afternoon, I would say the young woman got a really good look at what was looking at them. But, it could have been a shady area, and it could have been messing with their eyes a little bit, and it could have been a bush, but who knows? But there are a few more incidences of this creature being sighted at Mill Race Park. Now, the second sighting comes from a young woman who was completely unaware of the first sighting being reported. She came up to talk about her encounter in 2014 on a show called Monsters and Mysteries, and again on a local Fox News channel in 2015. Even though she waited 40 years to come out with her encounter about the sighting of the Mill Race Monster, she described it as something that she doesn't know what it was, but definitely was not someone wearing a costume. Her report also states that the monster had slime all over its face and having very large claws. The reports of this also say that her car was attacked and there were scratches on the car and it left behind a very bad stench. Now, as we all know, for the most of us that do know, from the stories we've read, the documentaries we watched, and the Bigfoot shows you see on TV, they are known to leave behind a very musky, pungent smell that kind of makes you not want to stay around the area just because of the smell. But if the sight of them doesn't scare you away, well, I'm sure the smell might. Soon after, a local newspaper picked up the story and carried it forward, which later renamed the monster to the Mill Race Monster. With the story from the newspaper, it brought in amateur monster hunters and a flock of hundreds of others that wanted to come and find the Mill Race Monster. Now, there is another encounter that's said to take place. A man was out with his dog and he spotted something out in the distance in the park that was green, hairy looking, green face, only later to find out that was actually a man with a green mask and green blankets. So could that have been the Mill Race Monster that everybody else was seeing and everybody else was hunting for? So what do you think? Is this Bigfoot of the Midwest a real deal down there? Or is it someone dressed up in a green face mask and green blankets? I'm not 100% sure because I wasn't back there in 1974. Maybe some of you guys were. If you were, let me know in the comments. Or if you have anything creepy around your area, leave a comment down below and let me know, and get hold of me in Discord to share your stories because I'll share them here for you. With our final and another green cryptid that takes us a little more south to Evansville, Indiana, we talk about the green clawed beast of Evansville. Now, before we go any further, let's recoup on what we've talked about so far and what we've discovered. What do you think is actually out there? Do you think there are cryptids out there? Do you think they are just hiding? And, obviously they don't want to be found. We want to find them. I know myself and many others would love to find a Bigfoot. I'm addicted to watching Bigfoot shows. Even if they're cheesy, they're fun to watch because the different Bigfoot calls people do and the traps they set up are so elaborate and they always get set off, but it's never set off and captured a Bigfoot. But when there's nothing in the trap, it's always mocked up to be, I don't want to say mocked up. I take that back. It's always said to be, a Bigfoot did trip it off and they got the bait. But there's, sometimes very blurry visual evidence of Bigfoot being, almost captured. But I don't know. You let me know. What are your thoughts? Is Bigfoot real? I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in Bigfoot. I'm just gonna put that out there. Bigfoot's real. And one of these days I might find him. We'll see. But let's dive into our next story. Our next cryptid of Evansville. Obviously, I can't. Evansville, Indiana. So it's summer 1955 in Evansville, Indiana. And Miss Johnson and her three children, along with their friend Miss Lamble, head to the Ohio River to cool off from hot summer's day. All right, sounds pretty good to me because I think I'd be doing the same thing. So Miss Lamble not being a very strong swimmer, but Miss Johnson being a very strong swimmer and confident in her swimming skills, they head out about 15 feet into the Ohio River. A while later, they're swimming, hanging out, laughing, doing their thing that girls do. But just a few moments later, Miss Johnson is swimming, having fun, and she feels something brush against her leg. She probably thought nothing of it and brushed it off for a quick second. But then suddenly she gets pulled underwater, feeling a tight grip around her leg. And as the creature pulls her under the water, she's kicking and screaming, fighting for air. She's able to break loose and head for her friend's inner tube. And as soon as she gets to the inner tube, she gets pulled back under and she's fighting and screaming for air. Her friend, Miss Lamble, is trying to get to her, but watching in horror as she's splishing and splashing, she breaks loose again and she makes it to the inner tube. And they make it to shore drastically, getting there as fast as they can. And that's when they discover that when they get on shore, her legs have bruises, have marks, scratches. And the one thing that stood out the most was a very large green handprint from the creature that grabbed her. Now, her statement is as follows that the feeling was that the creature had a very strong grip and very furry hands or claws or whatever it may be, but it was furry and it had a very, very strong grip. Now, I don't know what this thing was for sure, but we all hear stories of strange and unknown things in the waters. I mean, we've explored more space than we have our own oceans. So that we don't even know what's down there in, any body of water per se. There's too much out there. And just like the forest all around the world, there's too much. We don't know exactly what's out there. We don't know what's hiding in the crevices and in the cracks and in caves that a lot of them are not really explorable anymore because they're caved in. But we have no idea what's out there. There could be something lurking in the deep. There could be something lurking in deep in the forest. Who knows? But I don't know. What do you think? There's theories behind the green clawed beast of Evansville. One theory is that it's a amphibious reptilian monster, and another theory that it's aliens. Hey, when you don't know what it is, blame it on aliens. Why not? Because aliens are real too, and they've helped out a lot. So, what do you think? But could what grabbed her been just some rope in the water that had grown algae or whatever all over it and it brushed against her leg and she got tangled in it and it pulled her under because she's flipping everywhere and she's freaking out? Could it have been that, or could it actually have been a cryptid? I mean, your mind plays tricks on you. You start to think the worst of things. And then when your mind goes that way, and when something like that happens, and when it's all over, your mind plays tricks on you. It puts images in front of you that aren't really there. It's like looking at the clouds and you see different objects in the sky, right? You see a cloud and you say, "Oh, that looks like a horse, or that looks like a top hat, or that looks like a sun," and it really is the sun because it's right there. But you get my point, right? But as all these cryptid stories that I'm finding, I'm reading about, I'm telling you about, it's another Indiana cryptid. And that's what I'm here to do. Bring light to the unknown and see what's out there. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not, maybe it's a hoax, and just people having fun. If there's anything you'd like to see me cover, let me know in the comments. You can get a hold of me through Discord. You can find that in the description. Until next time, stay weird, I guess. I don't know. But once again, this is Ghost, and this has been Ghostcast, bringing light to the unknown. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to share it with your family and friends, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Later.